didn't know there was an event going on. I was here to see the space. So maybe join. Yeah. Yeah, I might actually. Should take a little tour. Yeah. Thank you. Hi. Hello, Matt. Nice to meet you too. Thank you. I really
Say hi to Ethel.
Hey, hi. Is it on? Yeah. Sure, that'd be
Guys, we are live. We are live at iSpace.
Is she a designer? Yeah. All right, let's move on.
It's connected to this though.
So it's live, right?
Of course, it's live.
Okay, we're good.
It's like, okay.
Good, we're good.
Cool. It's okay.
So
Like, oh, you closed my all my tabs?
no,
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I'm not that horrible.
I'm giving you a short link.
So I'm just gonna blast it out to everybody.
Okay.
So I can't believe it's not even one volunteer here at this time.
Get a pen.
All right,
We're
still.
online. We're live.
No, I'm still happy.
I know you will stay in
My dad's been
touch.
ruined anyway by this bit of internet.
There's your link.
I know you're. We do realize that you where's Mailchimp? Mailchimp. Yes, hey Mailchimp. Oh, that's good. And
Paul, I guess my work here is done.
oh, whatever. You're like, we didn't need to go anywhere. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
we can start.
I'm going to finish this data. So fun. Do that. Like that. No pressure. No pressure, Paul. Your dad is throwing you money. Oh, can we have a light back on? Sure. Hey.
you find the coins? Yeah, I did. Okay, you got to zip that. Okay. You're taking out your other laptop or something. Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to get an angle right. What's the person gonna stand right here? Alright, yeah, get into shot. Okay, yeah. He's good. The microphone.
Because they have what? Okay, more teachers and they have to. I don't tweet, I don't Instagram, I don't Facebook, I usually I post some Marinda just their number posts. I'm reading some highlights. I don't
Hi. Hi, everybody. Sorry, we have to wait for people. For my 7 locations, those that we didn't happen. For those of you behind, maybe come forward so that we can get the latecomers speaking and quiet. Please. Thank you. Okay. You guys hear me?
over the hurricane, maybe not.
Just keep it like that. Okay. Alright, hi everybody, welcome to Women in Tech. This is something our first event of the year, so we are able to run an event in January. Everybody's been running around the UBC, so thank you very much for coming. I think you have a little bit of time, so I wonder if you could just sort of go around and have people like in 1 sentence introduce themselves so they get the time to have it. Okay? And what would you last year?
I know. Oh,
So you pass the mic around. Yeah, just your name, what you do, and why you up there. Oh no, wait! Hey, the only guy!
Hi everyone. My name is Sabo. I'm a software engineer at Offices Osu. I love all the things in tech and let's make a good field and everyone talking
Big one. I love it. Big one. I love it. That's what I'm so I just brought around, I'm gonna use my house. Right. There you go. So that's the husband. I'm there to see how this is. Okay. Well, where did you go on that business? Hello, I'm Alicia. I work for Bloomberg. It's educational NGO that provides access to relevant content to kids and their families. We work with digitized content, Kenyan content, so from Kenyan publishers in local languages. And we put it in Kindle, so we work with schools and libraries, local schools and libraries, and also into a mobile app for feature phones, for low phones, which is for free, so we can download it and have access to more than 11,000 books, different type of books from children, cultural information, and so. Yeah, and I've been doing that since 2011, and I used to live here in this so I'm very happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Paloma. I just arrived here about a few days ago and stumbled on this place thinking about a membership, so didn't even know this event was happening, but I'm really glad it is. And I hope to be here and a part of the community regularly.
What do you do?
I'm working in an apparel manufacturing startup. So
Apparel manufacturer?
we're trying to help.
See me in Chambers.
Okay, great.
Great, so,
Oh.
yeah.
I know. I'm Sherry Thompson. I'm also known as Mama Lou, LOO. That means I build toilets, biogas, biosanitation toilet facilities. I'm a woman in tech because I use tech to assist me with various things, including green business, green initiatives, investor facilitation, and I have a sanitation app. It's so exciting. It looks like we're going to deploy this year. Yay! Thank you, Terry.
Great, so today we're gonna hear from somebody very interesting. Somebody doing amazing things in her field. And I'm gonna just have her come and introduce herself. And do you need PowerPoint? No? Okay, cool. So Ama's gonna come up and she's gonna tell you who she is, and yeah, you're going to enjoy it.
I have a really loud voice, so I don't think I need the mic.
That's exactly
So good.
Your voice is fantastic.
So welcome everyone. My name is Amma Fontois-Fonten, and I am a partner sales executive with Microsoft. So a little bit about me. So I am of Ghanaian descent. You can't tell by my name, so I'll get all the, because I know I'll get this in the Q&A. Where are you from? Why you sound different and that sort of thing. So I'll get all of that out in the open. So my dad is Ghanaian. My mom is American. I was born and raised in the U.S. I went to Wharton at the University of Pennsylvania, and I have a Bachelor of Science in Economics with a minor in Psychology. After graduating from Penn and doing kind of a lot of finance sort of internships like Citigroup and Citibank and those sorts of things, I realized that wasn't for me. So I was really good at numbers. I'm really good at quantitative stuff. I'm really good at like charts and graphs and that sort of thing. But it was really boring. I like actually interacting with people, talking to people, that sort of thing. So I said, I'm not going to do finance. I'm not going to be a high banker, and I would have made lots of money. But I'm going to do account management. So I did a lot of account management. I did some management consulting, some few jobs. And I kind of stumbled across Microsoft actually. And it actually came from a trial and tribulation. So I'm sure most of you, or maybe, depending on the age, in like 2008, 2009, there was a huge credit burst, credit bubble. People were getting like laid off left and right. Yes, I'm seeing nods. Yes, you guys, okay. So I was actually affected during that time. So I was actually unemployed for about a year and a half. And that was really my first kind of, I guess, life trial or life tribulation that I really had to overcome. And what I looking back or in hindsight, the silver lining was that nothing, no matter where you're from, what degree you have, what education you have, what background you have, life will happen. And what defines you as a person is not how you are in the good times, but how you are in the bad times, and how you overcome that. So what I did is I used that time to really explore what I wanted to do. I felt kind of complacent in my job. I felt like I was kind of going by the day-to-day. I was in a job for a paycheck, so I was like, you know what? I got laid off. Why don't I try and figure out what I actually want to do? So I traveled. I saved for a rainy day. I was fiscally responsible, had a budget. But I traveled. Lots of people from college, from Penn, I visited that were various industries, whether it was marketing, banking, almost actually a teacher, all different types of fields. I studied for the GMAT, so I was like, let me get that out the way because I went to go to grad school, I had some extra time, and I was doing a lot of temp agency work, so like long-term temp projects, like three to 6 month projects, maybe they need a financial analyst or business analyst. That's kind of how I survived. And I stumbled across Microsoft because they wanted a financial analyst in the New York office. So I was like, oh, great, this is fantastic. And it was actually in the advertising field, which was not I had nothing about advertising, digital advertising, ads, nothing. But they wanted me because they wanted someone who was very financial. So they wanted someone to take all this data, all these numbers they didn't understand, they didn't know what to do with it, and create something that someone else can put into common language and be applicable to their situation or to their job. And I was like, hello, I can totally do that. But you have to teach me advertising because I don't know advertising. So it was a great, give and take. It was a win-win for both because they got someone that was very quantitative, that was really good with numbers, can explain numbers and charts and make it applicable to a situation. But it was also great for me because I was actually able to learn advertising. I knew nothing about advertising, so they taught me advertising, what mattered to them, what mattered to the customer, what mattered to our sponsors, our partners, etc. So started my Microsoft career there. I was in New York for about 3 years. And then I decided that I wanted to travel and work abroad. And I was like, Microsoft is a global company. Why am I not exploring these opportunities? So I literally went into my HR website that has like all these job postings and stuff. Because I'm internal, I can see the hiring managers. And literally instant message a hiring manager, hey, this is who I am. I want 30 minutes of your time and tell me who you are and tell me what you do. And everyone was willing to speak to to me. So I spoke to people in Australia, spoke to people in Dubai, in Brazil, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in South Africa, and that's kind of how I started this whole thing. So I landed up in Ghana for 2 reasons. So the territory of Ghana was actually being managed out of the physical office in Nigeria. There was no physical Microsoft Ghana. A year and a half ago, we actually broke off from Nigeria to create Microsoft Ghana. So I was actually able to be part of creating a mission statement, a vision statement, picking out our office, hiring our first wave of interns, figuring out what kind of culture we wanted. We have a partner ecosystem, so we actually sell through other companies, right? Like, I'm sure you guys have heard of Company Ghana, I can't see those sorts of companies, so those are our partners. So reinventing that whole organization, what is our relationship going to be like, training them, making sure that they're capable from a sales and from a technical aspect. There's a slew of things that we need to do. And then also from the non-for-profit things. We do a lot of global and social citizenship through lots of arms. We have a For Africa initiative, and we have Bill Gates Foundation, and we actually have the Microsoft Ghana thing. So there's lots of things going on. So I've been here now for about a year and a half. And it's been a really great experience for me. This is actually the first time that I was someone's manager, which was very, very interesting to me. It's very interesting to be on the other side. So the feedback that I got was that, so a lot of the other interns, I guess my manager was a little bit older, and so she bragged, and I'm like, oh, my manager's so young, and she's so stylish, and she's so cool, and I was like, okay, we're friends, but make sure you do your work. And I think, because it's my first job, my first experience managing people, I thought about what I did and did not like from other managers, and applied that to my interactions with the interns. And I thought about what the difference is between a manager and a leader, and which one I wanted to be. Yeah. So we're actually gonna, I want to pause there, but then kind of go to, I want to talk about kind of branding. So I'm supposed to talk about personal brand and then kind of executive leadership, right? So in executive leadership, we'll talk about the whole manager versus leader thing. But let's look to personal brand. So I want to kind of start and figure out, what do you guys think is important about personal brand? Why should you care? Why should we care about it? Why should we care about your personal brand? Come on. Yes.
I think people are changing careers and focuses in their career recently. So what you present as yourself as a separate entity from your company or from what you do is also important, because that's going to help you track a path that might be a little bit less conventional than it was 20 years ago.
Okay. How do you define your personal brand? So what is personal brand? What does that mean? I'm sure we've heard about it. Is it, oh, what I think of myself? Is it what other people think of me? How is it defined? Maybe something.
I think it's not one. Like, what you think about yourself, what others think about you, the way you express yourself, the unique things. I think personal brand should be different from, I was thinking it should be different from maybe your company brand. It has to be something like your personality.
Okay, good. So I think you guys are both correct. So personal brand.
Okay, so your personal brand is how you communicate yourself to. Of course, one of my brands, I've actually thought of changing my name tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I really want people to know that sanitation is extremely important. It's my message.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the message I want to bring to the forefront. Mm-hmm. But I do like my given name a lot.
Okay.
So I probably will not do that. But my brand carries my message, especially how I introduce myself. Because I'm in Ghana, I could look corporate, but in the village, corporate doesn't really go over. So I kind of
Doesn't resonate well.
Yeah, I do a little, transitional something that can be both corporate and,
This is really good. So she's actually kind of talking about what we term that is kind of situational leadership. So what type of leader, or how do you adapt yourself to different situations? That's a really, really good point. And I'll actually talk about it a little bit throughout my conversation. So I'm a big Post-it note person, so you see I put things on Post-it notes, so that's what I'm looking at. But I wanted to read 2 quotes that were really good about the personal brand that I thought kind of resonated with me, and hopefully it will resonate with you. So one of the quotes was, "You're the chief marketing officer of the brand called you. But what others say about your brand is more impactful than what you say about yourself." Yeah? Let me read it again. "You are the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of the brand called you. But what others say about your brand is more impactful than what you say about yourself." And why that resonated with me is because for me, perception is reality. And I'll give you a really good example actually that I was actually speaking with Ethel about a day ago. So I work with a lot of executives in South Africa, Dubai, US, that sort of thing. And we have a lot of transition that's going on in our organization. So I've had to step up and kind of take some more leadership opportunities. So one of the directors, so let's say the equivalent of my boss's boss, asked for some information relative to a customer, to a partner. Now that was not my responsibility. So I responded to the email and said, "Hey, this is such and such information. Here's his email. Here's his phone number to set up the meeting. Let me know kind of if you need anything else." I sent the email. Really simple and good. So one of my mentors, to always have a mentor, make sure they're at the right level, reached out to me like that afternoon and said, "Hey, I want to like quickly talk to you," or whatever. So we chatted, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I just wanted to let you know he's very transparent with me. That I got some feedback that you came across short in your email, and it seemed like you were brushing the person off. So I was like, "Okay, well, what email you referred to?" Because I didn't hundreds of emails a day, right? So I was like, "What email you referred to?" I was like, he was like, "Oh, sorry, it was such and such and such an email." So I was like, "Okay, what was his feedback?" He's like, "Oh, I explained to him why it's not your responsibility, so now he understands, but he felt like you kind of brushed him off." So I was like, "Okay, no problem." Now, I'll pause there. If this were to happen to you, tell me, what are the options that you have to deal with this situation? What options do you have? So someone's now just giving you feedback. "Hey, this email to a director didn't come across well. He thinks that you're trying to like brush it off and tell him, oh, why don't you set up a meeting or whatever." What are your options? What do you do?
You could get back to the person and apologize.
Okay, get back to the person and apologize. What else? What are some other options?
Asking how he thinks should be the right way to send it.
Ask the person that I sent the email to, or ask the person that gave me the feedback. Okay, ask the person that gave you the feedback on some guidance of how to handle the situation. What else?
I would have wanted to know whether your mentor had seen the mail.
Yes, because the person that took it negatively forwarded the email to him.
Then that's when I would have said, "Well, what would you have said? Listen, you see my mail. What would you have said?" That's what I would have done first.
Okay. What else?
I would just respond back to the person who emailed in the first place, the director, saying, "I came to my attention that this time seemed short. I really apologize. This isn't my direct area, so if there's anything else I can do, please let me know."
Got it. That's the second bit. Okay. So yeah, I think we have a few options here, right? So one is to kind of ignore it. Some people do that. Some people, especially people that are not confrontational, they'll be like, "Okay, I got the feedback. I know for next time." So they'll just leave it alone. And that's sometimes the right answer, sometimes the wrong answer, but that is the option. Option 2 is to go directly to that person that was negative or took the email negatively and have a discussion with them. Or 3, give the feedback to my mentor to give to the director, right? So say, "Michael, go tell John that I didn't mean blah, 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 blah." So those are kind of my 3 options, right? So I took kind of, the option that we've kind of been discussing. So I actually went straight to the director and I said, "Hey, John, how are you?" He said, "Fine." And I was like, "Hey, it came to my awareness that you took my email the wrong way. I just wanted to clear the air and make sure you knew that that wasn't my intent, and that the perception of the email that you had was definitely not my intent. So these are the reasons why I responded the way I did. So he was like, oh, no worries. It was very surprising of you because it's not in your nature, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I said, okay, no problem. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't a misconception or a misperception of our communication and that everything is clear, right? He was like, absolutely, I understand that you're under pressure, you're doing a great job, and all of that, cheer. Great. Why? I feel like a lot of people, especially a little bit more junior in their career, wouldn't have done that because it's a director, so maybe they might have been intimidated. They don't like confrontation, but it speaks to your personal brand, because I could have left the situation because I didn't do anything wrong. My manager was on my side. He was like, no, he's just being sensitive and don't worry about him. But what I thought of was my personal brand. So when my manager's manager is at the executive table with 10 people, what are they going to think of me, right? What are they going to think of me? And this actually goes to my next quote. So your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Yeah? Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So when I leave the room, because when I'm in the room, I can kind of think and say, oh, Mama, we think you are this and this and this and this and this. But when I leave the room, what's the conversation that's behind me? And that's what I thought of when I was in this situation. So I'm like, well, if John is in that room, what is he going to think? I don't want him to think that I'm pushing him over, or I'm just brushing him off, or I'm not a team player, that sort of thing. So let me go to him, of course, in a professional manner and a courteous, respectful manner, and make sure he understands that that wasn't my intent, right? So these are some things that you want to think of a personal brand. So I like to they say there's like 4 kind of key action items that you can kind of execute now to kind of think about the personal brand. So the first one is creating a mission statement, right? So a mission statement can be, and I think of mission statement in 3 buckets, right? So we have the person that knows what they want to do. Their dad is a doctor, their mom's a doctor, they knew they were going to be a doctor since they were 5, they go to medical school and they are going to be a doctor. And they're going to have a different mission, right? So theirs might be to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, live here, live here, live here. This is what makes them happy, right? The second person may know probably the industry. So I know I want to do something in sanitation, or I know I want to do something in IT, or I know there's someone in marketing over here, right? I know I want to do something in marketing. Still trying to figure it out, what do I like about marketing, or what do I like about sanitation? I like these things, and these are what I want to keep. These are things that I don't like. So in my long-term career, my long-term projection, I want to make sure I have more of the things I like and less of the things I don't like, right? And then there's the third bucket of, I don't know, I'm just winging it, sort of. And I actually started in this bucket. I started in the, I don't know, I'm just going to kind of wing it bucket. And actually, how I actually got a degree in business was because I thought it was the most flexible. I was like, business is everything. Like, what's not a business? So let me start here and I'll figure it out. And so my kind of trajectory was, let me start here, figure out what I like and what I don't like. And in the next position, I now have more things that I like, less things that I don't like. And in the next position, I have more things that I like and less things that I don't like. And dwindle myself down to where I am or where I have landed. And so a mission statement, because sometimes I don't want people to think that, oh, it's like this long, dreamy story of, okay, I'm going to be like the conqueror of the world. It can be as simple as, hey, in the next 3 years, I want to make sure I am enabling people to be successful. I want to make sure that I'm working with children, and I want it to be in the marketing field. It can be as simple as that. But there needs to be some goal, right? You need to have some sort of goal in mind, because that's going to dictate your actions. So that's number 1. Number 2, I would say, is cleaning up. They say clean up your social media. This is kind of just things around you. What you say, what you do, what you wear, what you, how you act is all about your brand image, right? So even when I'm going out for, to chill, as they say, on a Friday night or Saturday night, there are just certain things that I won't do. Because I don't know who you're related to, I don't know who you're related to, I don't know who you're related to. So you have to think about your personal brand image. Yeah, there's like a professional me, yeah, there's a more casual me, but they're still me. They're still the same me. And the casual, and a lot of cases actually, not for us, at least with our internships, and I'll tell you this, we check their social media. Who has a picture, they're 17 and they're drinking Apoteshi or a Heineken? I'm serious. Oh wow, really? Yeah, we probably don't want him or her for the internship. Or who has a post and they're out with their friends and they're doing something, malicious or that sort of thing. So you have to think about these things, especially to the younger folks. Tweeting, using profanity, jokes. How do I know it's a joke? I don't know it's a joke if I'm an employer. Colleges as well. They're also looking at that. So cleaning up your social media. That's Facebook, Twitter. That's also LinkedIn as well. Making sure that's updated, that sort of thing. So that's something that's really actionable. Networking. Networking is always talked about, right? I don't go out and say I'm going to network. And I don't network when I need it. I network when I don't need it because it's so much easier. So much easier. I have a really steady job. From what I hear, I'm doing a pretty decent job. I think I'll be okay. I'll be here for some time. This is the time for me to network. Hey, what are you doing? There's no pressure. She gets back to me, great. If she doesn't, all right, they'll have a job. It's fantastic. Or if she does, or it's a lot more casual. So network when you don't need it. And those are the relationships that are actually a little bit more, they're more personable. They're more tangible. It's not so, hi, my name is Alma and I work for Microsoft. What do you do? It's, hey, how are you? Okay, what are you interested in? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, you like to travel, you like to do this, you like to do that. All right. So networking is not, I'm going to the event, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's usually the best networking is that you don't need it. Yeah. So that's a really, really good pointer. And then the fourth is actually reaching out and helping others. And reaching out and helping others is doing something that you're passionate about. So not everyone's job is their passion, right? I am not passionate about selling IT. I will tell you that right now. I'm good at it. It's a strength of mine, but I'm not passionate about it. What I am passionate about, which I added to this role from my previous role, is actually the enablement of people. So I said to myself, okay, my strength is selling and business and that sort of thing, but my passion is enablement. So if I can enable you to sell, that's what I actually like. I don't necessarily like selling. I have to go with you and we kind of sell together and we kind of see the strengths, but that's what I like, and that's the piece that I've added. Yeah. So I think that reaching out and helping others however you want. It could be from a professional standpoint, it could be from a personal standpoint, maybe an NGO, maybe volunteering, it could be in your church, it could even be exercise, yoga class or Pilates or whatever, because you surround yourself with like-minded people. Yeah, and so usually you strike up a conversation, you talk about what you guys want to do, and that's networking. That's networking within itself, yeah? And these are some of the things that you can kind of start thinking about around your kind of personal brand image. So I kind of want to stop there to see if you guys have any questions or anything about the personal brand image. If not, then I'll kind of start talking about executive leadership. Yeah?
I was saying something about when you go out, you have a casual, you have a professional, and there's two people. So does that mean that if there are certain activities that you enjoy because you're in a casual environment and you don't want to offend people or affect your brand, you do it?
Yeah. Yeah, depending on where I am and depending on what it is. I mean, if it's literally just my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, my nieces, and my nephews, then yeah, it doesn't really matter. But if I'm actually in the personal aspect, I don't know who is who. You could be the daughter of a minister, and the minister could be one of my customers that I'm trying to, close a deal with. And if you saw me at Bella Roma in my little mini skirt, dancing with some guy, you go back to your minister. What is the minister going to think of me? And yeah, it was casual, but when you respect me as a seller, as a person, maybe not. It may not affect me, but I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to take that risk. So I think anything that I do in public, I'm like, if this went on Facebook, I'm going to be okay. I'm not breaking any rules. It's nothing provocative. It's nothing. thing. Because for me, especially at this point in my career, it's not worth the risk. Nothing that fun that I'm gonna jeopardize a deal or my brand image. And my name is really important. When someone says Amma Santua Quatin did X, that needs to be positive. My reputation is really, I will never compromise my morals, my values for anyone or anybody or any person or any amount of money, because my name is very, very important to me. I want that name to always be untarnished, untainted, held at the highest level. That's what I think of myself. So that's what I do in a casual thing. Now, yes, you can dance and you can drink if you're of age, not a problem, but do it professionally, do it respectfully. And it's more so about respect of yourself. I don't want to be drunk in the street. Is that something that I want to do as a person? No, not really. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
It brings another question.
Sure.
Yeah, you said reputation. You know that reputation is actually different from character as well. Reputation could be how people perceive you or how people see you. But then your character is what you actually are. So where do you reconcile and where do you draw the line between what you're saying?
Which one do you think is more important, character or reputation?
I feel character is more important
Why?
because at the end of the day, we are going to be judged not by human beings but by God. So you have to have a standard. And at the end of the day, you have to respect other human beings. But then it's not all about what they care about.
Give me an example of when your character does not match your reputation.
Let's say in our culture here, men, when they see women who are, let's say, tomboyish or do certain kind of things, they tend to shy away from them, or they tend to view them, they tend to stereotype them. Like, let's say, I'm living a secret, I'm standing on an island as a female, and take out that new man who's on the side and see me and view me in a different light. There is nothing really wrong with that. And that's me, and that's what I'm doing. What I'm doing is not negative. Now, the culture has imposed certain things in your mind. So, in what you're saying, should it be that if what I'm doing that is not wrong, but in the culture, it's seen as a very unfavorable for a woman thing to do. How would you do it? Is that what you're trying to say?
So that's a good example. So let's kind of stick with the example. So okay, you gave us two things. We have character, we have reputation. So character is who I am, who I define myself, how do I define myself, right? And we have reputation, what others think of me, right? Character starts first, right? Because I have to be in order for them to know, right? So character starts first. So if the character is wrong, the reputation is going to be wrong. Now, when the character doesn't match the reputation, my question is, the first question would be why, and then the second is, do I care? Do I care? Is it impactful to me? So if all of the men in Ghana think that I'm a tomboy and they don't want to be with me, and that's my goal, are there men that are not Ghanaian in Ghana? Are there other, you see what I'm saying? So I start with the character, and both are important because perception is reality. Because the people that don't know you, that don't take the time to get to know your character, can only go off your reputation. But why you care is it depends on the person, what that person means to you, or what value they have to you. So it's kind of twofold. But I would say that when your character doesn't match your reputation, one, you need to figure out the reason why. And it could be cultural, it could be the actions, it could be a whole slew of reasons. But then what is that of value to me? Is it something I'm willing to change? Is it something that I care to change? If not, then hey, you're gonna be the outsider, you're gonna be the pioneer, which could be a great thing. Or you can say, you know what, this is something that's really valuable to me. Unfortunately, it's the powers that be. These are the things that I want to change. But that's a personal decision that you have to make. But good question. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Let me just take this question.
Somewhat similar, but you're saying that self-run is when what people say when you're not good. And my question is, does it always have to be something good? What do people say when you're not good? Does it always have to be something good about you? That's just or it shouldn't necessarily be.
Say that again.
You're saying self-brand is
What people say when you're not in the room.
when you're not in the room, whatever the people say doesn't necessarily have to be something good. In order for your brand to be good, or it doesn't necessarily have to be something good people say about you.
Again, it depends on the people in the room and why you care. If the people in the room, like for me, if the people in the room are the directors of Microsoft, I care. That's why I went back to that director and made sure he knew, hey, that wasn't my intent. I know you perceived it a different way. I just want to make sure that you don't perceive it that way, and feel free to come to me. If the people in the room are the people at Google, okay, so of course you want, because yes, your definition of you is not my definition of you. But if I have the power or the value to you to make something happen or help promote you or do whatever, it's more important what I think of you. You can think you're fantastic. You can think you're a great communicator, your writing skills are fantastic, etc. But if I don't think that of you, I'm gonna say, hey, Ethel, don't hire her. She's like really short. So it matters. It matters. It really, really matters. But it depends on, again, who's in the room and what your goal is. That's why we start with the mission statement. What is my goal? Is my goal to get the internship with Ethel and Alma? If it is, our perception of you is important. Or is it my goal to do something else? Then whether I care about your communication skills doesn't really matter. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Maybe I can add a little bit. So
yes.
in the last year, I get a lot of people, so I've made a lot of friends, right, in the last year. And I get a lot of people saying, hey, you know a lot of people in tech, and I'm trying to hire, right? So 2 weeks ago, I was with Roshi, the CEO of Skill. She was like, I'm looking for this person. I don't even have a job description yet, but I know you know me, right? I sent her 5 CVs. If I met you, and after 10 minutes, I'm like, no, this child. Because part of it is also, my brand is also, if I provide Roshi with really good CVs, right? Roshi's going to be like, oh, And when she's in a conversation, right? Estelle from Google, we've done projects together. She's amazing at Google. So the World Bank was, the World Bank is doing an energy challenge, right? So the World Bank guys came in to see Estelle, and they're like, we want somebody to be a local consultant. She's like, talk to Estelle, right? I didn't even have to write a report. Like I didn't need to do much. They were like, oh, can we have your CV? And what are your rates, right? Like that's really it, right? Because if Estelle didn't think, right? Because again, she's not going to say talk to Ethel if she doesn't think, she doesn't think well, right? You get what I'm saying? It happens, and you don't even know where it happens, right? And you don't know the conversations that I had. Like I've learned in the last 12 months, just like most jobs are filled before the job description is out.
Absolutely, very true.
Right?
Very true. Absolutely.
Because I'm having this conversation, like, oh, you helped this person out. I heard you found you found Rangier, their business development person, and so I was thinking, can you help me out, right? So I don't know. It just again, this is my personal experiences of having to deal with it, and I've just learned to understand the dynamics, and yeah.
Yes.
You have the mission statement. You have it in the next 2 days. Can you just change it?
Oh yeah, your mission. I mean, my mission statement a year ago was very different than my mission statement now. So it's a think of your personal brand as a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It's a journey. My personal brand when I was in high school was very different than my personal brand in college. It was definitely very different than my personal brand. And it just got intimate. Candlelight. It was very different than my personal brand in my first career job. And now I'm getting towards kind of mid-level. As I said, I just started managing people. My mission statement is very, very different. So it's a journey. It's a journey. Think of your career, your brand as a journey. It's not a destination. And I don't want to get to the destination because I feel like that's like dead. So I want to continue the journey as So hopefully that wasn't helpful. I want to touch a little bit, I know I'm running out of time, so I want to touch a little bit on kind of executive leadership. And I like this conversation. This is kind of how I have my presentations, so that it's interactive and people engage. So I'm going to start with another quote. I'm big on quotes. Write them down. Okay. Oh, okay. This is okay. Good. So leadership. So if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you're a leader. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you're a leader. And that really resonated with me. Why? Because it's inspired. I think the definition or the difference between a manager and a leader is that inspirational touch, that inspirational feel. I've had managers that were good and said, okay, these are your responsibilities and make sure you do this, and as long as you do this, that's fantastic. The people that led me, that I would blindly follow, inspired me. They wanted to know what my mission statement was. What do you want to do after this? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? What makes you happy? What resonates with you? Okay, because the leader's thinking, okay, if this resonates with her and makes her happy, how do I use that to be an asset or benefit to whatever the goal I am, my business, my company, my NGO? It's a different feeling. Another one. Leaders think and talk about solutions. Followers think and talk about problems. Leaders think and talk about solutions. Followers think and talk about problems. And I like that one because it's like really simple and kind of like black and white. But why this one resonated with me is because I think leaders, they listen to the problems, but they don't dwell on it. It's not a whining and complaining and, oh, it's this, and I hate that this happened. It's thinking, okay, I really don't like this situation. What action can I do, take, inspire other people to do to change the situation? And that's when I really think of executive leadership. If you guys think about the leaders that you guys respect, and that could be a slew of leaders, I'm sure all of them have some sort of inspirational quality. And I was thinking, and as I said, this is the first time I'm actually managing people. I've been trying to figure out if are leaders born, or are they made, or is it a combination of both? Because not everyone's inspirational, not everyone is motivational, but you have to be that in a leader. But there's different types of leaders. You have leaders that are a lot more quiet and timid, like let's just say a Nelson Mandela, right? He's not making, tears. He's very quiet. He's humble. He's calm. And he was after the 27 years. Yes, exactly.
Before that, it was I'm a little older, so I know before.
But just from an experience, for an example perspective, there's leaders that are calm, a lot more humble. They ask you questions versus regurgitate answers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
exactly. That's a good one. That's a better one. And then there's more leaders that are a lot more inspirational, doing the speeches, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Obama. He does really good speeches as well. They're a lot more boisterous, for lack of a better term, but they're both leaders. So let me pose that question to you. Do you guys think leaders are born or leaders are made? What do you guys think?
Leaders are destined.
Leaders are destined. Okay, tell me more.
God predestines somebody, because that's your destiny. But then you're born. He's already put that destiny inside you. This is what he wants you to be. But then you have a gift called free will. So you make the choices to go towards your destiny, which go away from your destiny.
Okay. What else? Other thoughts? Are leaders born? Are they made? Are they a combination of both? Maybe they're a combination of both. Thoughts?
I think your work may have one.
Tell me what I mean.
In your earlier stages of development, your environment shapes you. So you learn certain skills that stand out to make you become more of a personality that you. And then sometimes it's because of your own personal, say, aspirations. Maybe you want to influence people. So you just have this deep drive to push others to do things. So it comes with your own mindsets about what you want to achieve and what you learn from the ground. So I wouldn't say there's a one.
Okay. Yeah.
I also say leaders are made their own work because I mean everybody is born in a certain environment. But some don't let their environment shape them. They don't let their circumstances change them, or they don't let their circumstances affect them and lead their circumstances. But they outgrow the circumstances and they overcome the circumstances. So in that situation, I think that leaders are made. They choose to become leaders. They choose to better their communication skills. They choose to respect people. They choose. I think it's all about choices. Because from where you come from in America, I'm sure that people who grew up in the projects and life was not good, and they choose to do drugs or follow what their peers are doing, but then they choose to be better than them. They chose a different life path. So I think it's all about choices and making yourself.
That's great. That's great.
So interestingly, people view leaders here as very positive, but you can have negative leaders too. So I just found the conversation very interesting.
Yeah.
Because she mentioned drug dealers. There's some really good leader drug dealers out
Very
there
true.
that are making bank and doing whatever and are considered successful within that realm.
Yeah.
So, your idea of leader is, you said, to inspire to what? To help people become what? Okay, and so to achieve. Yeah, to achieve what? Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, very good, very good. And kind of, since we kind of started this conversation, I kind of want to talk about some things that leaders emerge from. So a couple of things is they say leaders emerge due to behavior, not title. And that kind of speaks to this, because for me, a leader it's not someone that, because their name is CEO or MD or manager, a leader is someone that behaves as if they are a leader. And what is that behavior, as we talked about? It's inspiring someone, it's believing in others, it's motivating others. And then it's also focusing on serving others. That was the second thing. Leaders focus on serving others. It doesn't become it's not about me. It's about what can I do for others. That's where the inspirational piece is. They're also really accountable. They're accountable for their actions. Good leaders are accountable for their actions. And I think that builds the trust, that builds the relationship between the leaders and the followers. The best leader is a person that you don't feel like is over you. It's not a force. It's not that they have you under their thumb. You're leading them because you believe in them, you trust them, they inspire you. That's the best type of leader. And I think when you talk about executive leadership, and that's why I wanted to talk about leadership more than executive leadership, because for me it's the same thing. It's the same thing, whether you're a leader in executive corporate America, or you're a leader at a school, or you're a leader. They're all, as you said, different types of leaders, just different people. But these are the things that we kind of want to talk about. And then we also want to talk about leaders. They go above, beyond what is required. That's another key factor. They don't do just the bare minimum, right? They always go above and beyond. And so when you think about executive leadership, I want you guys to think about leadership from the umbrella, not just executive. Yeah? So I want to kind of pause there because I think I'm running out of time. May have run out of time. 7:21. Okay. So I want to pause there. I wanted to make sure I left you with some brain teasers. The best and this is the reason why I do this, the best sort of conversations or speakers that I've heard always have a question or a brain teaser or a quote that they either started with or left with. And that's why I really try to infuse them in these conversations and stuff, because it's something really small and bite-sized that you can grab onto and think, even with on your ride home or on your drive home, that's something that's actionable today. It's not a big thing. Create a mission statement. Network. With not here, but maybe in your class or in your thing. There's small little bite-sized things that you guys can do now, and it doesn't have to be so overwhelming. Yeah? So I hope that was helpful. I want to open it up for questions. The questions could be about brand image. I think we had some really good, great conversations. So we can talk about brand image, we can talk about leadership. If you want to ask me about me, whatever, I'll open it up. I'll put down my Post-its. Nothing? Come on.
I know you have questions. Come on.
You guys want to network instead?
So, okay, so let me ask questions, right? So, we'll go around the room because then nobody escapes.
That's a better thing to do.
Right? And you can tell me what one thing resonated with you. And what would you like her to expand on? How about that, right? So, start with you, Shay.
I'm a problem solver. And I get about 4 hours or 5 hours of sleep a night because I'm solving problems. And I wake up in the morning with problems solved. So if I have a question sometimes, it's like, okay, God, so you've given me this gift of solving problems. Where's the resource to actually deploy the solution? And I find that very, not that there's a big disconnect with the creator, but for me, there's got to be something that he's doing in that whole piece.
Yeah.
So, as a leader, sometimes I find it's difficult to deploy those solutions, to get people to see the solution. Sanitation is a huge problem in this country. We have 29,000 cases of cholera since last year.
Really? That many?
My phone has been blowing up like something. We've got over 240 deaths since last year nationwide. So we don't have Ebola, we have cholera. And, but we still have bad behavior, huge bad behavior here. And, I'm the one that's, basically insulting people at this point. You can't sit here and tell me you're succeeding in WASH because you're at 70% water access. You're at 15% sanitation. You failed your MVP. That means WASH has failed. There's no water without sanitation. So, I'm sitting here trying not to feel like I'm single-handling sanitation, but sometimes I feel it.
My suggestion for you would be two things. So the first one is, it's like you're a leader in your own right. So you're the pioneer trying to solve everyone's problems from a sanitation perspective, not just in a region, but for the whole nation. And my first suggestion would be make sure you take care of yourself before you take care of others. And it's really hard to do. It's really, really hard to do.
My friend right now. Because all of them say the same thing.
Because stop that. Seriously, because the work will always be there. I've worked 100-hour weeks for weeks. 100-hour weeks for weeks. I would wake up in the morning and go to bed and be like, did I use the restroom today? Did I eat? I don't think so. And Who is
You
that
married?
helping? Who's that?
Okay.
Who is that helping?
I was gonna say.
No
yes,
one except the cause. But if I'm not here to
To
prolong the cause,
you're dead in the grave.
exactly, it doesn't matter. So that's one thing I really, and it could be really, really small. And I know it's hard. I started
vacation.
do something once a week on Tuesdays for an hour is your me time. Whether it's a yoga class, whether you meet up with your girlfriends for lunch,
Right.
every Tuesday, once a week for 1 hour. Start there. Once you start small, like for me, with my job, it was really, really hectic. I said, I'm not eating lunch. I'm gonna eat lunch with customers. So I would have at least 3 times a week a lunch customer meeting. So I knew that I was eating lunch, and I was actually multitasking because I was doing business, relationships, and lunch is a little more casual.
And your people love you.
Yeah. So exactly.
Keep reaching out to us.
Exactly. So
Brilliant.
take some time to for you, and that will help you because it's really nice to step back and then come back with a fresh set of eyes.
Right.
Because you'll be able to maybe find that resource and figure out how to delegate or figure out how to be more efficient. And start small. You don't have to conquer the world today. Start with people. Exactly. So that would be my suggestion.
Right.
Yeah.
Next person.
Oh, she's busy writing.
All right. You can stop me. We're gonna get through the room. So.
Okay, quick. Gentlemen, you're next, so we can make it.
It could go up.
Okay. Give me one action that you'll take after this event. One action that you're like, I'm going to do this at this time. And I want a timeline. I want it to do. Yeah.
All right, we'll give you a minute. Give answers and then you come back.
You can ask me a
Yeah,
question.
yeah. So what resonated with you when you have a question?
What resonated with me was what you said about the difference between me and being because I've been kind of struggling with that concept. Because for some time, maybe due to my work experience and environment, I have sort of I've come to believe that management or even leadership was about ordering people and being the boss and getting people to
It's managing people.
But,
that.
yeah, but I want to ask you,
Yes.
if the expression of leadership or management, and what is that in most of corporates environments? Because I'm sure they are aware of this situation. Is it that they are always talking about management? I don't see business titles with leader like the way you see manager and IT manager or IT leader.
I think for me, yeah, it's a really good question. I think for me, leadership is a personal decision. Because as a business, remember, a business doesn't have a soul. Microsoft business does not care if Alma drops dead tomorrow. Microsoft business cares about profit and loss, right? But my manager, now she can decide to manage me because at the end of the day, she's working and she works to manage people to do what the responsibilities that I made so that that P&L is positive. But she can also choose to lead. And if she chooses to lead, I will most likely, 99% of the time, be a better employee, a better asset to the company because it changes the perception. I'm no longer doing something because I'm feeling forced. I'm doing it because I want to. And when you're doing something because you want to, you do it 10 times better, you're more creative about it, that sort of thing. So
here's an example, ministry. And I'm gonna just name the ministry, because ministry create an industry. At the time, Alan, I'm gonna say it, Alan Cash was Minister of Fair Industry. Not only was he working at 8 o'clock in the night, but everybody else was there. I walked in one day and I said, what are you doing to these people? He said, we got work to do. But they're all there. Well, it's amazing to see that. That's a lead. Not a man.
let's quickly go back to you and then kind of, I know we have a few people to get to. You ready? Yeah. All right.
She's taking more notes. She just took some more notes.
Okay, good.
So I'm more fascinated about the story you shared in your personal life. And you started not knowing exactly which, like exactly the path you're going to go.
Yeah.
So you start with business more. I find that I have a lot of interest and I'm still finding out on day-to-day basis what I really want to do.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't be scared.
Have fun.
Enjoy it. Just make, no action is an action. I'll do that. No action is an action. So if you can just put one thing on the I like list and take one thing off the I don't like list, you're fine. You're fine.
And don't let your parents pressure you.
How
Because I'm
about
a
you?
parent.
Anything that resonated with you that you want to share or a question? You're next, so be prepared.
My side, I will do a little more on the leadership.
Okay, good.
Because even though not so much more than managing, but I'm still looking towards that.
Yeah. And being I think a leader is also asking for feedback. So what's funny is that the people that I manage, I said, what I did wrong? What did you like? Give me some feedback. And they're like, really? You can't do that. They were shy at first. And they're like, well, I think you did. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's some good feedback. Would this work? Would that have worked? And now they even think of me more as a leader. So like, oh my gosh, she like asked for me. So think about that as well. Good.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to process a lot is
Oh, wow. I have 4 pages. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
it's not compromising your values for any other building.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe when the environment has opportunity to make more profit or more money, maybe or illegitimate, then you are supposed to between your character and your moral values and something which is material. So I think that as a human being and as a person, I should stay true to myself and my values and stay behind it.
Yep. That's golden. That's golden. Golden.
I'm taking that point of leadership is not about title, about behavior.
Mm.
So I don't need to
See, my post-it notes did well. I'm glad I like touched on all of them.
So I don't need to see someone with a doctor, professor, before respecting my
Everyone is, right? One of the good, like for instance, my coworker for his son's second birthday, instead of having a birthday party, they actually visited the orphanage and donated things to the orphanage for his birthday. And I mean, the woman that's running this orphanage, she's a leader. I mean, it's like hundreds of children, different ages, and how she organizes it and how they love her, and that she's a leader. I respect her so much. So it's about behavior. It doesn't have to be a title. I could be a teacher and be more inspirational than the CEO on Wall Street.
Absolutely.
And who's gonna remember me? That CEO will come and go, but that leader will always resonate. That child or that person will say, oh, remember when? Oh, remember this and remember that? What's your legacy? Yeah? How about you? Leadership, okay?
I find myself.
That's why I'm skipping personal.
I know, right?
The time my experience, they told me some was after talking to somebody, the person is like, when you said to me, it's the right thing, like it's about time and
Yeah, absolutely, and explore it. Like there's no wrong, there's no right, and it's a learning process. As long as you're open to constructive criticism and feedback about it, that's only improvement for you. Yeah. How about you?
What's interesting to me is, and I like this, how you seem to be so particular about maintaining your reputation. I think when your name is mentioned, you don't want any other negative thing to be thought of by any person. And then my follow-up question is, don't you sometimes, I like that, I'm sort of like that, but I would want to follow up on that. But don't you sometimes get stressful? It's like it's like you're working so hard to do it. Don't you want to relax and
have a lot of fun. And,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do. I have fun. Trust me, I have fun. But I don't know. I think it started with my dad. Like, so my dad, as I told you, my dad's from Ashanti Mountain, and so they speak in proverbs and in stories and all that. So I grew up with that. Your name is proud. I'm named after my grandmother, and Ya Santua, etc. So I grew up with being really proud about who I am, my culture, and my confidence. And that's something that no amount of fun I would never jeopardize it for no amount of fun, because the fun will come and go. My reputation, how I feel about myself, my confidence is everlasting and priceless. So that's what I think about. I'm like, okay, me doing this one thing going to this party or something for an hour, is that worth destroying my reputation for the rest of my life or destroying my brand for the rest of my life? So again, it depends on what it is. There's a lot of things that you can do for fun that's not destroying your brand. So, and again, it depends on you. That's what I do. Someone else might do something different. So again, it comes back to kind of what your priorities are. What do you want to do in life? Yeah. That's what you do.
I don't know different perception when it comes to branding. And all this while I've thought of branding differently. What I mean is in a different field. But I think this evening I'm lucky to be here to also hear from you. Yeah. But one thing that is that I've been waiting on is it possible that at times people can let you know your brand, even in your presence or in the crowd? Is it possible?
I think so, but I think the people that will do that, so like, I'm not sure if you heard it, but the quote was that your brand image is what people say when you're out of the room. The people that will say it in the room are the people that you have a really good, trustworthy, open relationship with. So I gave an example of like that, my mentor, right? That gave me the feedback of the director. I have a very open relationship with him. I can vent to him. I can be like, I hate my job today, and this. And Bruce, I'm like, all right, so what do you think I should do about this tomorrow? What do you think I should do about the meeting? And I can be open with him that, hey, I don't think from a manager's standpoint, I think you're wrong. And these are reasons why. These are the things that you can do better. So there are people that will share that with you, but you have to build a trust relationship. And you also have to build a relationship of, if they say something that is negative or it's not going to be taken the wrong way, you're not going to like freak out. You're not going to be mad at them or backlash to them. You're going to be okay with receiving that feedback. Yeah. And then, people will definitely give it to you.
So then it means that
make sure it's the right people. Because don't take criticism from a fool, right? Make sure that capable.
So I was say that then it means that we can ask for feedback from the people we trust. And we would like to know how we want to brand this way. But is that actually what people are perceiving? Do you understand? Like receiving a feedback. This is what you are. This is your value. What do you stand for? But actually, people don't or are not really seeing that or are not perceiving that.
Yes.
And here is the case that you get to the very trustworthy person, and the person tells you that what people are saying is exactly what I also perceive.
Yes.
Then it means that we may have to then sit down and look at how we can
do something different.
Do something differently to actually portray what we intend to portray.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
To actually portray what we intend to portray.
Exactly.
I'm somebody that likes enabling people, seeing to it that people are able to do what they do happily, not just to do it in struggle. Yes, just because they are asked to do it, but to be happy with it. The first instance I gave. Sorry if I'm talking too much. The first instance I gave, you see, in the office, back in the office, people don't know actually my background. They never knew at all before in Microsoft Office. Application. Yeah. And I came working by a different dimension as a health information officer. And as I was, people encounter problems. And I have a challenge with Esau somewhere. Can you help me? Or just, oh, let me help you. I just do that for you. But the next time, maybe in the crowd, somebody can just point, oh, I need somebody to help me to do this. Oh, go to Sarah. You see, but again, in their absence, that is in the chamber, someone also calls me and said, my executive director. I don't know if you've heard of Dr. David Bako. He's now the CEO for Colleague.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he called me, like I was there for a personal chat. He said, I've heard that you are a guru in ESO. You see, like you're saying, somebody, it had been said somebody, and he had heard it, but because of our relationship, because I am free with him, and he is the leader. When you talk about a leader, he's the true leader. Like you say, people that inspire you to do what you love doing most. Where your passion lies, they push you there, where your passion lies. It's somebody that will ask you, are you really happy with what you're doing? Not the doing, but the value that you personally earn, and the value that it will give to the company. But most of all, what you as your value.
Yes.
See, so I seem to be more of a leader. And I realize that I'm also a leader in some way because my passion is to see people inspired, people doing what they ought to do, happily. You see, happily. So it's just affirming what I think I am.
I think if leadership resonates with you, my suggestion would be ask the people that you lead. As I said, I just became a manager of interns, and the best feedback was from the interns. I asked them, what would you like? What did you like? What could I have done? And I have a good relationship with them. So after some time, they gave me some feedback. I'm like, oh, you know, that's good. I could have done that better. I could have done that differently. Or I could have done this. Oh, that's
something I wasn't doing.
Yeah. So that's
something I wasn't doing. I wasn't asking for feedback. But I think it's worth we asking for feedback.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
So you were talking about social media.
Yes.
And having to manage your brand and social branding yourself. One thing, you see, most people started Facebook because they wanted to be with their friends. And now Facebook has now become like a personal promotion thing. So how do you get away from that? How do you move from transition from being for friends and now having to cater for other bigger audience, possible employers, potential employers, and other people in society? How do you explain to somebody
Instead
of explaining, delete.
I have a friend that was getting married to a people. And in Ghana, she's gotten investigated and then approved. So diplomats have to be approved by the diplomat.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Their wives.
Yep.
Okay. So she's
So what do? You delete the Facebook?
Yeah,
remove pictures.
Yeah, delete pictures.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, if you figure out what you want to show, like I did it up on Facebook as a way to keep connected with my friends. I give it up because it's no longer
For friends.
It's no longer for my friends. And like I said, if you want to talk to me, come to WhatsApp, send me an email. Because once I did a few things, it was like, oh, maybe whatever, you're inspirational, you're whatever, you're like, okay, right? So now you think you've got 200 people requesting, but I don't know anyone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
My mentor said, well, at
Do not confirm.
right? Because at this point, you can do one or two things, right? You can say no, thing, or you can just take out all the stuff, right? And let it become always part of your professional life, right? That's what, so like,
what's difficult, and this is why it's very important to pick a partner that, there's certain things you must do and not do. You don't take naked pictures with your boyfriend. You just don't do it. Because that guy can post that And that's on his page. You can't do anything about his page. Okay? And so certain things character, go back to character. Just don't do that. Okay?
Some things are private. Keep it private.
Keep it private.
Don't post it.
And if you see the video camera blinking, destroy it.
I will say this one thing, right? So when Tiger Woods happened, right, everybody was right, because he showed us that he was the clean and hot Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And my point is, if Tiger Woods had just been true to his authentic, whatever, like the bad boy of golf, if we had heard if that was his brand, right? If Tiger Woods was the bad boy of golf, you would hear it like, so okay, right? So, again, if you're a corporate professional, that's your brand, and you're cut. But if you're in a selling space, and again, you want to keep it as close to your authentic self.
Yes.
Right?
For me,
Otherwise, people find out that two different things, right?
what I do,
Fraud.
what I do is this. If I want to share a picture of my baby and myself, I share with friends.
Yeah.
And then my friends, let's say, yes, not all of them are close friends, but then I consider them as friends. I'm comfortable sharing my pictures with them. And then I watermark the picture to the point where even when you crop out the watermark, you still have a bit of my name in there, so everybody knows that you stole the picture. And then the ones that I use for promotional purposes, like for this event to the public. That's what I do. But then will somebody out there watching think that this girl, what is wrong with her? Can't you just keep it open?
It's your life. Right.
Now, I think the thing that's resonating to me most was about mission statement. It's a journey, it changes at every point in time. It makes me think that at every point in time, it behoves on you to sit back, think about what you want, where are you going, and what you need to do. And it's only in that way that you can really get a clear path of what you want. So maybe 2015, what do I want at the end of the year, or in whatever it is. So I think it's something that's really I'm thinking about a lot, because I think it's a good thing to constantly do, so you don't still have, you don't unconsciously still have your high school or college mission statement and think you are still doing that.
You're still trying to accomplish that.
Yes, but you've changed, so you need to always change it.
I'm also thinking about some of what you said about what people think about you when you're not you. And I think sometimes I realize that I think a particular thing, which is positive, but others are thinking about me in a different way, which is also positive. And then it gets to a point where they're not really sure whether I'm not trusting myself enough to be what they think I am, or maybe I'm not really what they say I am. There's always that confusion. So I'm really looking for that.
The second.
For me, I think it's overall, I'm more interested in what she talked about, what the market is about. So you often share some of your things. The bottom line is, you think you understand what you're like, you can, if you don't want to say it, don't put it. It's that simple. Because I don't know how much you take, I can take it out. I want to.
Okay, you can take it out, I know. But then an ordinary person will not be able to take it out.
But another person don't want to do that nothing to you.
No, let me give you an example. Actually, let me give you an example. So, blogging camp last year, right? Me and a couple of friends and the rest, we took a selfie with the US ambassador. Yes. I just but anyway, I took the selfie and like explained how the US embassy decided it out, blah blah. And about a month or two, somebody pointed out that there's a page where somebody had collected these sort of pictures. And like, oh, and he does, I think he takes people on trips, educational trips on his book sponsorship, like helps people go abroad, right? He has this picture, and this is the picture of us and me and the US ambassador and all these people. And he goes, oh, the US ambassador and his friends posed for us. Who is this? Right? And so we contacted the communication office with the US embassy. Okay, so this is human being that has, and I don't know whether they reached out or if they try to fix it. But this is honestly, it was like a fun picture. And he's putting on his page, trying to make it look like he has a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? And then my face is in it. And you're just like, right? So what do you do? Right?
No, I'm saying that I don't mind. Anything I put online is because I want it to be there. But I don't want you to take advantage of it. Take advantage of the fact that I am open to put my pictures there. So a layman will not know how to do it unless he goes to a professional. A layman just takes your picture and then uses it for marketing purposes. A guy took my picture, just me. I'm not a celebrity.
It's what?
He put me there was like, come skiing with us, come to this place in Western region. And I know this guy, not friends, we are not friends, just Facebook friends. I said, oh Charlie, I don't like, take it off. He didn't, he just ignored it. All I did was I unfriended him. And I unfriended him from all social media channels.
Yeah, so, yeah. Wow. Well, it looks like, do you want to do a wrap up?
Yeah, so I think it was a really good conversation. Again, I'm glad that you guys got something out of it. That is my intent. If I can leave everyone with anything to think about, reflect on, or do, or action, my job is done. So thank you for having me, Neto. Much appreciated. I hope it was
All right. Well, can we have another round of applause for Anna? Right. Thank you guys for coming. We're going to wrap up now, but share your business card with someone, have a conversation. Not the people you came here with, right? Like, have a conversation, find out what they do, what their name is, extra. Make one connection. And there are pies outside. It's just outside there, there are like spring rolls and pies. I know it's 8 o'clock, so you can grab something just before you head out. But it was lovely seeing you guys. Tomorrow, those that can make it, tomorrow we're training. It was 25 female entrepreneurs, but I keep getting, one more person. So all my friends are slipping people in, so we might end up with 25 people. But there will be training sessions from 10 to 2, and it's like practical workshops. Because I think presentations are good, and this is great. The one, especially when it comes to how to use technology for your business, I think sometimes it's sort of hands-on, sort of do it yourself. Gives you like a really good. Look at me like, no, I'm not going to want to do it myself. The thing is, we want all the technophobes to come. That's it. We're looking for technophobes, right? We want them to come and see. how simple, how simply you can do things.
So there to support you. So
yeah,
you can't break anything.
You can't break anything. It will be fun. So tomorrow I think 10 to 2. So those of you that can come, you're invited. Lovely to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming today. And how many of you are on the music? Oh, good. So there's a sheet outside there. You all need to sign in so that we'll have your emails and then we can send you to next events. And we try to do a weekly newsletter with content. Doesn't always happen. But we will, at least, at the minimum, you'll have sort of all the information on tech events happening around, not just regular tech events. And once in a while, we actually provide content. Alright? So thank you all for coming. Please grab something to eat. Oh, and I forgot to say, so we were sponsored today's event. We're sponsored by, because they were supposed to come and do a little pitch. So today's event was sponsored by Eon Connect. Eon Connect works to help people relocate in Ghana or also in the African regions. Looking to relocate and try to help you sort out all that stuff. Eon Connect is great. Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, really?
Yes, you did. I don't, but when you say retired, she's really wants to bring me back. See all these people, see all these people here that are web developers. You have a website, all your products, and a little shopping basket. And people can actually shop. Who's the big? Who's web developer? I know you web developer. Who's web developer? Who's web developer? Talk about your website. You have enough products that you go into a shopping basket. You're always saying the best. Why do you always say the best? You don't know all. Because as I told you, the funding agencies like USAID and S&B, they're wanting to see the demo, but they might actually deploy. So when you deploy, it doesn't have to go back to the so you'll be able to go ahead your phone. Okay? On this page, you can get onto the internet, send me an email. That way I can actually send you some information. Just easy that. I see you. So, I don't remember.
You know, every time I just go to yes, I know every time. Maybe like
I have your card. Let me give you a call. And I want to do one thing at a time. This one I got
you are patient. Your face is different from Facebook. Your face so I always get a point to when I need to so that I do Facebook. Sometimes, yeah, maybe I recommend a are you doing web or so what do you want to do? So what the money is like the job satisfaction. Hey, I just think you try some freelance. We can't be emotional about it. I've been following up on this job for a long time. So let's say last time I started doing interview and right now that's how I'm like this is what I'm doing. So go for it. You work for it. Oh, I've done well. My next time I was now hey, this girl is one of the super mentors. Yeah, patience. Hey, let's people kill us with your cats. Yes. Are you